Good afternoon. It is the 11th of May, 2019. This is a live version of the Trade Room for the alert subscribers over on digitalcurrencytraders.com and Intro to Cryptos. This is not trading advice, even though we're going over alerts, even though I'm giving specific buy signals. And what I'm doing here is I'm going through my trading system and going over the details of what the trading system says, and that's what we're talking about, and we're referring back and forth to what the system says. Combine that with your own research to come up with whether or not you should be trading, and of course, read through the disclaimer so that you know all the details of what it actually says there. Now, we're looking at the price of Bitcoin over the 5-year view. So these are the weekly charts. And I recall making a video saying, look, 9,400 is sort of where the Fibonacci's gave us run to. Other times it was the 5,800, 5,700. Any of these ranges is someplace where the market can go to. And our job is always just to cut our losses, never to decide on how long our winners are. And so we have a stop loss system that tries to give the market enough room to go. And we have 2 different ways or 3 different ways to do it. Now, what I'm going to do here while I'm nattering on is find the link to the live thing and then share it. And then I'm going to start going through there we go. So here's the live link I can share on Discord. Live now at everyone. Good, that's up. Now I look forward to you guys joining the stream, and any questions you have, we'll go over them for sure. Put them in the chat or put them in our Discord chat. Either way. And this video will be downloaded later, and then I will upload it to the new website, and it'll be removed from YouTube. So all of these trading room videos will be recorded and then put into the new website where you can access them there later. Now let's zoom in on Bitcoin. Just a quick couple notes about it. What I'm looking at is the on-balance volume, and we still have a long ways to go to actual serious volume coming in. It's astonishing to me that the move has been this big without that much volume coming in. What's it going to do when the volume actually comes in? We are definitely going to see new highs in Bitcoin over the next short while. This is going to outdo everything anybody's thought about, because it's going to have more than just billions of market cap. This is changing the world, and it's actually starting to unfold now. And so we see the volume is high and picking up again, and it's gone this much higher, and the volume is not as high as it was earlier. We haven't seen the volume yet peak. So we haven't seen the blow off top yet, which is astonishing. Hold on to your Bitcoin, keep lending it out. And we're going to look at what this is going to do to altcoins now, because altcoins are going to get crushed seriously. And at the same time, there's going to be a big pullback here. It's going to be wild. I think as we're going through the updates, I'll talk more about it. So here, big volume, less volume. So I'm watching for the top all the time now, all the time. And for me, it's more practice than trading. I am watching for the top formations, and I'm observing what the indicators are doing as this unfolds. And for me, it's mental and emotional practice for short trading. So I've got the account set up. I'm prepared to short trade. I'm watching for it now, and I'll do it in very small trades for a very short time, and that account doesn't do very many trades. Even though it has money there, it's not to be traded often. And I'm going to keep going. Bitcoin dominance. This has been taking off out of our channel. Now it's pulled back a little bit. This is really key to be watching where this goes, especially if we zoom out to the 5-year view to get a good long-term perspective on it. It's only peaked up here a couple times, then it's faded back pretty seriously. So what's going to go on when it hits support and resistance there, and we see that top formation? This will be pulling back. It's going to give us that verification. It's going to make a top formation, and it's going to pull back. So we've got some good ranges here to be watching for this Bitcoin dominance to be coming up a little bit, just like it is now, making a top formation and pulling back below these levels. At the same time, we are now seeing altcoin market cap really spring up. Look over the super long term of altcoin market cap. There is an enormous volume going on in altcoin trading, and yet Bitcoin trading hasn't seen this much volume in comparison. Right? They're all relative. And relatively, this is huge volume coming into altcoins right now. Buying is coming in. So when we're looking at these bottom formations shaping up right now, they have a bit of a different tone to them, so that when we're seeing something, let me go to Ethereum. I'm trading this one. Because when we're seeing something now making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, even though we're watching it on a 15-minute time frame, and our alert package doesn't consider these kind of trades. It doesn't consider them. It steps back to here and says, that's good. We have our number 1 point. Nothing else to do. Nothing else to look at here. Even though it's taking off like this, it hasn't made a big enough 1, 2, 3 formation on the 4-hour bars to give us the exponential moving average crossover. We don't have a downward trend line break. So none of our trading signals are active here in this market. And yet, when we zoom into the 15-minute bars and we take it from this time frame, you can choose to trade out of these formations. And the only reason I bring it up and look at it is because of what's going on with Bitcoin dominance versus altcoin market cap. So it's showing us this is a moment of capitulation and turning in the market. Just like we saw on April 1st, it was going the other way, and I didn't do anything about it properly. This is going in favor. You can see here, this is Ethereum versus US dollar, and one of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations that is showing strength as Bitcoin is going up. So it makes me anticipate that Ethereum versus Bitcoin is also going to start showing strength at these key technical levels. Zoom it back to the whole year. So there's our capitulation low, right near last capitulations. And we had some pretty astonishing moves out of these capitulation lows last time. So let's see what goes on. Is Bitcoin going to pull back a little bit as Ethereum does a run up? That would make sense. That would be historical. Let's watch and see what's going on in this. And at the same time, I want to go through these quickly. So here is our mega crypto trading spreadsheet. Let's go back to the start of it. This is the spreadsheet for all of the markets on Binance. This is the automatically drawn in Bitcoin value from the Binance data that is from a feed. And then I put in the entry and exit levels for these trades and monitor them over time. We also have the closed trades. So some of these trades hit formations where I said, okay, we're taking off part of our profit there. And our closed trades are all listed here. So what I do is I go through and I look for the trade formations, and then I write in our target entry, our targets, profit target, and our stop loss, and take a screenshot of it so that we can be reviewing that later. So here is an alert that was on Aeon on April 14th, and it was a very small bottom formation that was shaping up here. And we said, okay, if it takes off above there, this could be a formation to go into. But I'm pretty certain that that coin didn't go any higher. Let's go to Binance. Yeah, so it made this consolidation, but didn't do anything out of it. It fell back down to new lows. So now we have, in this market, the little capitulation low, the spike up. And those are 1, 2, 3 bottoms, but they don't match any of our trading patterns yet. So instead of going through and identifying all of these and saying, no, what I want to do is collect some data, more general data. So what I did is I started going through the pass, near fail, and fail for all of these coins. And I did some other details here. I must have said these must be the most near ready to go. And I marked them off and then mentioned them in our chat. So this is a very much more general way to do it. Does not right now, it doesn't give you the entry and exit details. So I'm just going to go through this quickly for this live stream that you can replay later, since I see there's no one actually following along right now. So let me just quickly go through this. ADA. And what I'm going to do is go to the 3-month view, and I'm looking for beginnings of a setup. All of these things, when I zoom into them, they are giving me a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation on the 1 hour time frame, and the exponential moving averages have actually crossed over. So these will give us, I'm anticipating, they could just blast right off. They could. I'm anticipating they're going to give us a stabilization point to get into, rather than trying to jump into something that's already moving. It could be that it's going to keep going, but I always like, this would be a good spot to be getting into. And I'm hoping that if you are watching something like this, you've got to be ready as, consider me your batting coach, but I don't do the batting for you. So I can give you coaching on these formations, and then you've got the tools. You can be watching for this break of the downtrend line, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation showing strength. And we've got the data on the Bitcoin dominance and the altcoin market cap overall to give us backup that this is showing a turnaround point. So those are possible entries that you could have taken a spot there. And then if it doesn't prove you correct, then you get out of the position and you wait, because it's still on a downtrend. This would have been a spot to maybe test it out as well, as it's coming to these trends. So it's not a position like this that we're jumping in on. As soon as it goes, we go, yeah, okay, now this is giving us warning. We're waiting to see what's going to happen. Look at this. This is 4 or 5 days before it came to a point where it gave us the like a sell signal, and then it came deep into a retest before going down further. Deep into a retest. This is where, when it's in a trend like this, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations get you killed over and over again, because they just don't work on a downtrend. They look good and then they fail. Then they look good and they fail. It's quite demoralizing. So finally you get one. I think I'm going to defer on the side of waiting on published alerts until we get a more certain turnaround, and we're not just jumping on the first wave. We're waiting for that tide to change again. So here we are. You could be looking at these things, and I did in the Ethereum trade. That's what I did. So now I'm going to draw this spreadsheet over to the other monitor, and I'm going to go through all of these markets. Here we go. Ethereum, Bitcoin taking off. Stellar Lumens versus Bitcoin also taking off. Litecoin has been moving, so I anticipate that Ripple is also going too. Which screen am I in? So this is Ethereum trade taking off and doing well. Awesome to see. Now I'm going to go to the 3-month view and clear this off. What I'm looking for is this a near fail, fail, or a pass. This one is now up to a pass level. So when I change that, that's all I'm getting is a more of a general rule, and then you know that we're looking for this to bounce off of these levels, especially since we have support and resistance like this. I'm wanting to see it come back. I'm wanting it to bounce off of that anywhere in here. If it pulls back and gives me support, now we're going to have a good position to verify going past. If it's just blasting like this, I don't want to jump in. I need that support underneath it and that turnaround of those moving averages. Look, in the 12 hours, we're just not doing it. 12 hour, 4 hour. So the 4 hour starting to set up. We do have the break of the downtrend line. We have the number 1 point. Now we have to sit and wait. This would be in a short position. This would be an action point in the trades. So it could be a fade in or a scale in action point on your trades as well for these. But likely it's going to be coming, I'm thinking it's going to be coming back and retesting these levels. So generally it's just, for me, it has been an exercise in frustration to try to get into these things this early. It just too many errors in it to put the time into jumping into these things. Now, next one. This was marked as a near fail because it was down to these near, and it stays as a near fail. It's not doing any better. AE, 1 year view. It is still a fail. It hasn't gotten any better. So we're getting those capitulation starts. If I was to zoom into the 3-day view, Sure enough, we are getting this bowl shape. We are getting a 1 to 3 bottom formation. It could be at the edge of turning around while this is all stepping up, and we see Bitcoin dominance holding here, and altcoin market cap is still rising. It is a more educated bet that this could be an entry right here on AE. So I don't recommend it. And I'm going to continue on to say that in this trading review, this still gets marked as a fail market. It hasn't done enough of a turnaround to take action on with this method. And you know the difference now. As we're zooming in, you can choose those other more risky methods. So this one is also still a near fail for AGI. Zoom into the 3-day view, and it is also setting up for a potential. Even though this isn't a perfect 1, 2, 3, it's still good enough. This is a 3, 2, 1, sure, yeah. If it makes this formation, it's broke the downtrend line, the moving averages cross over, and it's showing strength while everything else is. This is the kind of moment to be holding all your coin and then putting some in here in my own trading method. So 1 year view, it is still a near fail. Aeon, we had just talked about, it has picked itself up to from a fail to a near fail, I think. Now AMB was a near fail, and it should be marked as a fail. The last time I did that, it was a near fail. So where was that? Because this has been a fail for a long time. Maybe I gave it near fail status because it showed some strength for a minute, but that's definitely APPC is down to new lows. So this also turns to a fail. And even though now I can zoom in on the 3-day view and we're seeing the double bottom, we're seeing the potential change right now, it is still too early for the simple trading plan. And it came up with these 3 different criteria over a period of testing and back testing and review, and our recent studies reinforce this again too. So this could be a potential, could be a great one, and we'll still wait anyway. Go out to this view, it still gets marked as a near fail. Ardor still is marked as a fail instead of a near fail now. And if we zoom in, it's going to show us that same thing. It is showing the potential for this to be changing. It hasn't broken the downtrend line. ARK, so it still is like a near fail. The best I can give it, and is probably a fail. And when we zoom in, it is making the potential for the capitulation. But look at this. It's done it before. It's doing it again. We don't know if it's enough for it to be turning around, but I like that it's got these pre-pump patterns as it's coming down. It's like the parachute slowing it from going down faster. So we know it's starting to change momentum, which is great. And you could skip right in there now and get out with rule number 1 and then add on to it later. It is a legitimate try place, but not at all matching our trading plan. In fact, ARK was marked as a near fail. I'm going to bump it to a fail because it's just that lower than the history before, and maybe it wasn't the last time I did the scan. ARN stays as a near fail, and you know the story. AST, same thing. This stays a fail. Atom on this exchange, that was definitely a good short call earlier. Now down it is, and it's got lower lows here, it's got lower highs. It is making potential turnaround, but not going anywhere yet. So it is not a trading signal. Bitcoin taking off, I expect this is probably going to get smashed more. It's at 5,860,000 Satoshi. It's got lots of Satoshi room to go down. Basic attention token, 1 year. So this was a great top formation call. And it's not much of a call. It's you know now the criteria. We've got the uptrend. We've got the 1, 2, 3 top formation. The exponential moving average is crossed over on the 4-hour time frame. So done deal. Cooked chicken. Finished. Out of the trade right there. And without emotion either. This is the thing, is to just do the trade because that's what it is. And then later, look at this. Weeks later we go, oh, wow. look how correct that was. And at the time, it's always doubtful. It's always a risk. So we narrow it down to these moments where we take these one way or the other. Now we have the capitulation bounce and the pullback at these historical support and resistance levels. So now this is actually getting to be a more delightful chart than most of the others because it's made this move and got rid of some of that craziness. It is giving us a nice formation now to be watching for. So as it's making a formation that shows strength over the next little bit, we will take a look at it. So this is marked as a near fail basic attention token. So I'm going to move it up to a pass actually just for this chart. The chart BCD. Okay, you know the routine now. It's a fail, and yet when I zoom in to these 15-minute bars, it's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It is actually just about breaking this parabolic downtrend. So it's down and down faster and down faster, and now it's bounced. It's not enough for a trading signal. BCD still stays as a fail. BCH ABC. This one was marked as a near fail. It would have come down into a fail territory. Now it's bounced up so hard and so fast it moved back into near fail territory. And it's probably going to keep going, but this formation isn't something that I could trade. It seems like it's bouncing like a slinky down the stairs. So it's not a formation I could trade. Even though it's done this, many of those formations come and go. BCPT. Again, 1, 2, 3 bottom formation after an extreme down. It could be like the very best moment, and this doesn't match our trading signals. It still lines up as a fail in the charts. Zoom into the 3-day view, and it really, luck would have it. It could be the moment, and yet it hasn't made a turnaround enough. Let's go over to BLZ and see where this is. Still marking as a fail in the longer term. Zoom into the 3-day view, same thing. So it's fantastic that we're seeing the same thing in all of them at the same time. Lets us know to get prepared, but I would leave the funds in Bitcoin right now that you have in Bitcoin, and then just sit on the alts that you have, because I think they'll be turning around and coming up to crazy fast levels, and we'll all just be shaking our head going, what is going on? All right, so this one was another great top formation call. The FOMO was going on, especially right here on this trend line break. And we had this little bounce off of it, and it showed strength. Man, the internet went nuts on that. Thought, here it goes. And I was looking at the 1, 2, 3 top formation. The exponential moving averages are close to crossing over. And if we were looking at the 4-hour time frame, they had crossed over, even though it bounced up. We had already had that 4-hour cross to say, get out of part of your position at least. I'm going to respect that a lot more in the future. But my base point is the 12-hour. Still the 12-hour entering and exiting, so that I am not jumping in and out, in and out, in and out at these moments when it's making little wee bottoms. I'm coolly sitting and waiting for this type of moment. So everybody's all excited about this. A whole bunch of people get wrecked. I'm sort of hanging out. And as this crosses over and starts to go, I take a little position and I'm adding on to it. And then I'm sitting back and I'm doing a whole bunch of nothing until I see these crossovers. So we've got, when it's crossed over this far, it doesn't, I look at the price for a split second and I go, there's nothing to do. Nothing to do, nothing to do. Oh, look at this. And on we go. So BNB was marked as a pass last time I did this one. So I'll do it as a near fail just to show it's a little bit more bearish. Clear that chart off. BNT. I have so many of these open that when I clear a chart off, it's never cleared in all of them, so it never goes away now. This is a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and it is taking off. Again, you could salt a little bit into this just because of the moment, the turnaround, and yet it's not a trading formation. In fact, it still stays marked as a fail in our overall spreadsheet. BQX, same thing, fail, and you know the rest of it. I can zoom in, there it is. I can zoom in, there it is. You've got the option to play with these and use rule number 1 and start building your position from here. So you put in 5% of your position. It's very risky right now. Once it goes up a little bit and pulls back, you've got your stop loss set. Now you can be adding on, and you know you've got a portion of your position that is really profitable. BRD, I like this as built up so nicely and not really dumped, but it never really moved anywhere. So maybe it may not be a market that's going to be going anywhere. And certainly we're not going to be actively trading markets without the top range of volume and the chart pattern at the same time. We're adding more into this. BTG, Bitcoin Gold, was like taking off the other day. This was all of our wake up and jump in. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, nice strong volume, jump in there, and back it came. So we're looking at the 1 day view as well. Crazy, but it's pulled back now, and I would say that it's not a near fail. It's a pass. It's just hanging out. BTS. All right, BTS has given us that turnaround on the super zoomed in level. There's the 3-day view. Same time of it's all the other alts showing a bit of strength here and consolidating, making the potential formation. So this one is a little bit better in that we actually have the break of the downtrend line on this, the accelerating downtrend line, because it's about the parabolic down on this. It's been increasing in down speed as it's been going down. So now we have that first bit of a bounce, giving us the number 1 point. As Bitcoin starts to consolidate here, the alts should do more. But if Bitcoin keeps going and we see that huge volume coming into Bitcoin, alts have a long ways to go down yet. No worries there. BTT was marked as a near fail last time, and it's still a near fail. I don't know. I think I'll put that as a fail just for our numbers. Now the next ones are CDT and fail and fail for seller. If I zoom in on this one, it's got lower low here, but it is consolidating pretty nice. Same strategy for this. You could be starting to unwind part of your Bitcoin now and putting it into these alts. CMT, where ideally it would have been unwinding your alts here on this top formation on everything and putting it into Bitcoin and then sitting back and doing nothing for the last month. This could be the moment to take everything out of alts, Bitcoin now, and put it into alts for the next month. We'll wait and see. I'm going to wait for the formation to top, and I'm going to take action on these places. Both sides. What are we looking at? CMT. It is a fail. And it was marked as a near fail last time. 3-day view, it's bottomed and it's starting to show the turn. Civic Coin was marked as a near fail. 1-year view, and it should be marked as a fail just because of where it is. Near fail last time when did I do the scan? Well, because it gave a little bit of a pump up here, so I moved it from fail to near fail and back to fail again. Dash. Fail. Surprise to me. And so got to take those crossovers. This is the 1-day view. There's the 12-hour bar view. There's our crossover. And if we step back to the 4-hour time frame, look where our crossover is here. Nice. Right at that chart formation. It's so clean and so clear. This is the difficult one, though, where here it would have been in and out to play that one. Okay. And so even though it is a fail, and I zoom into the 3-day view, all of the coins are showing this on volume. So it is much more legitimate a time to be trying this. As Bitcoin is seeming to be fading off, we'll get back to that. So Dash, even though it's marked as a fail, it is the moment where it could be the turnaround. Data, same, fail. Decreed was a near fail last time. Now I would mark this as a fail because it's got that capitulation low and the bounce right there at the same time as everything else. It's starting to set up. So I'm going to mark it as a fail, but over the next week or two, it's going to shape up to be giving us our formation. That's the potential because it needs that much time in order to make these moving averages cross over. They just don't happen that fast even with extreme moves. because of the moving average effect. Now this is going to go to the moon. Let me now clear that off, drag this chart over. This is phenomenal. Wow. Zoom in on this one, and just the staging going on this setup here. This consolidation setup is phenomenal. Wow. Doom, 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 doom. Bam! Off it's going to go. This is an amazing triangle at long-term weekly bottom. Huge volume candle coming in. It's settled back a little bit. This is our moment to have a chance to step into this with 2 feet right now. Love it. Let me clear all that off. 3-month view, 1-year view. So here we are, 3-month view again. There, now we get a perspective of the downtrend, the double bottom, the consolidation, the pre-pump patterns coming in as it's consolidating down. Beautiful. When Bitcoin eases off, this is going to moon. So, wow, I'm having trouble with this. It is marked as a pass in the spreadsheet. I really have to take a screenshot of this. There we go. DLT. Okay, this has got some great pre-pump patterns going in here. It's got that same capitulation. Let's go into the 3-day view. So it's got the capitulation going on here. Let me mute myself here for a second. And let's continue on, quickly going through the scan, because Bitcoin is clearly going to continue going through the roof. And right now we're seeing that the alts are going with it. So this is the Bitcoin USD price, all of the USD price, Litecoin, Stellar, Ethereum. Ethereum's breaking out of an incredibly important time or chart formation right now. Insanely important. So I'm super glad to have a long position in that on margin trading. Make back for some of those crypto losses of mine. Mute you for a second again. All right, my apologies. $7,010 and going. So I'm just not confident at all of any of these consolidation patterns, even though we are getting a little bit of indication that the alts are going to get some money coming in. It's not a trading signal yet. It's building up. These are gambling signals to me. And I could be, there's other trading methods that would just be all over this, and they would be have great reasons for it, and all the power to them. I'm going to defer on sitting back and acknowledging these and knowing things are getting exciting, but this is still, if I go to the 1 year view of this is still a fail. So I go to DNT we're only on DNT, it's a fail. Doc. And so this is a fail. And it was a near fail last time. So this is getting more bearish. Still, EDO, ow. Now that's a nasty one. That's down to new historical lows. That's a nasty fail. And I don't like to see it, but it really could be the capitulation low. Zoom into this and ouch, some people's stop losses got absolutely killed there. Perfect technical levels to go stop loss diving and to have it go to the moon after this, which would just be so, it has been so frustrating to have things like that happen to me. Not in that particular market, but what are we looking at here? ELF, also a fail, marked as a fail. ENG, now a fail, and it was a near fail. So that's giving our spreadsheet here even a more bearish bias. That's a tongue twister. ENJ, however, has come down to historical support and resistance. I know I could find a Fibonacci that fit that perfectly. Then we zoom in and we have that capitulation bounce. Lots of volume on it too. A lot of selling, a lot of buying. So it's giving us a good consolidation pattern and starting to set up. So it's rung the bell for us. We know we can start watching this one, and yet it is still marked as a ENJ is marked as I would say this is a near fail. Not a fail. It's not going down below these old lows. EOS. Ooh, really also took a big beating. And then it's made an incredible bounce up here on some really strong volume. None of this is an action pattern for our trading system that we're practicing here. It's still just the setup point. That's the number 1 point. On the 4-hour bars, it's showing us that something's happening, but it's not showing us that it's ready and turning directions yet. So other trading systems would be on this and doing well with it. Our trading system is more of a trend following, less work system. It's making our money work for us rather than us working for the money. And doing daily scans of everything makes that really hard. You've got to take at the most half a second invested into checking this market. I can talk on about it, but if you're taking more than 1/2 a second when you look at this chart, you've spent too much time at it. There's nothing to trade here. There's no 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So Ethereum Classic is marked as a fail, and it is a fail. Now, in that 3-day view, you have option to use this same trading system on a closer time frame, but then you are sitting there babysitting your money. Your money is working you, I think anyway. For my own part, I jump in and out too much on these trades. I don't trade these properly. I get overdoing it. So I like to do the videos and keep track of it. But for the trading, I do so much less trading than videos. It's crazy. This is beautiful that it came off this bottom formation. That it came off this bottom formation while the US dollar value of Ethereum on Bitfinex Ethereum US dollar is taking off out of incredibly important 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout. Then this coming back to these incredibly important historical levels was enough for me, and I bid on this, and I'm long with a margin trade, and I do have it in profit right now. So I'm thinking this is going to be a spectacular trade potential. Even if it only runs up to where it was, it's an incredibly spectacular trade potential right there. And it is not a trading signal for the simple trading plan. So I'm trading outside of my major trading plan by taking action on this at this time. But because of all that other data all put together, it's time to take a step on it. And so far it's working out. Yeah, still good and profitable. Zooming in here. So plenty good and profitable. I've got my stop here protected, and I can sit and watch now. And I won't move my stop up now. I'll risk all that profit to see if I can make more, to see if I'm in at the right time. EVX. So Ethereum, it should be marked as a near fail in the sheet, not marked as a pass. EVX, also marked as a near fail. It's coming down to a great consolidation point, but here's a great example of jumping in on these blast offs. Let's zoom it back a little bit. So this made a good move up, and anything in here at all is taking action too soon. Anything. This is only a warning for us. It's the light flashing saying something is get ready. So we had all this time, all of it, 2 full days, to look for this consolidation that is actually matching the overall trend. So there's our downtrend line. There's our 1, 2, 3 bottom. There's a nice triangle consolidation pattern breaking up. I know that if we look underneath and we look at the on-balance volume, it's not as good as I wanted it to be. I wanted to see this switching to positive already. So it's starting to shape up at great levels, but it's still a near fail. It's still not a trading signal yet, because I don't want to be caught into this, the next one. We'll see how that goes. So I'll mark that as a near fail. FET has been marked as a fail for a while, and at this time frame, in the 4-hour bar, actually, it's showing us a 1, 2, 3, but there's nowhere near the exponential moving average crossover. So only on the 1-hour time frame can we see this as a trading formation. And for our historical stuff, those that we traded on the 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 4-hour time frame were the least successful of all, because I did them as a trade entry and exit, where, say for example, I would see this chart pattern. I would say, all right, a buy above there would be our entry, and a stop loss would be just below support and resistance levels. There's our trading signal in the spreadsheet. And then the price would go along, hits up into this really nicely, and then it pulls back and touches here. Over and over and over again, we got nailed this way. And so if you are going to be trading these, it is really important to, if you're buying on this breakout, then you have to be sure that you are exiting on this drop, or on this drop. You have to be taking that exit so that you are not taking it here and taking all those losses. You've got to be really super vigilant on these breakouts and pullbacks at this time. So this is super high vigilance time to be monitoring this. And then you've got this very close time frame range to be working with. So fail. Fuel, fail. 1-year view, still marked as a fail. Fun was a fail, and it remains. So there's another example. Go back to fun. There's another example of the chart doing exactly what I'm talking about. The breakout, the 1, 2, 3 bottom, gives us our signal. Put the stop loss in down below it. If you leave it and just let it run without using rule number 1 right away at the beginning here, you're killed with 25% loss, 26% loss. That's killer. So even if you have a very small trade, nobody wants to lose 25% on a trade. This is where you got to take it and know that you're going to be getting out here and just start practicing that reflexively. So that's a fail. Gas is also marked as a fail. And when we zoom into the 3-day view, we're going to get that same, it's 2 lower lows here, and then it's broken above, and it could have been a signal for sure. And yet I'm absolutely stepping back and waiting for this to show me something bigger. Even though it could be the perfect moment, this one now goes up to be a near fail. GNT. Fail still. GO. Still a fail, but it's got a little bit more of a tick here on the 12 hours. We've got 3 12-hour periods of positive. So It is potentially, gambling wise, could be the moment, but it's not a trading signal. Still a fail. Not just a near fail. What is that? GRS. We are at number 54 out of 150. And we're seeing that this is near fail still. This one is a fail. GV is a fail. Where are we? G. V. Okay, they're marked correctly in the spreadsheet still. G. XS, a near fail, but man, that's near as you can get. This has gone from a near fail now on HC to a fail. Hot. Near fail still. And I like that it's consolidating right here at these levels while everything else is happening. We zoom in. There's volume coming into it. Not a formation though, eh? It's more of a gamble just because of the levels. It doesn't have enough history to give us much of a formation. I got in at 13 Satoshi, so I'm just sitting on that still. ICX. I'm gonna leave it as a near fail. INS is a near fail because it's still above these levels, but look, that's so weak. IOST is building up to something. There's something going on there. I like the historical level. I like the history or the chart level of it. The volume, sorry. This volume pattern here is pretty cool, actually. And so this going on could be a flag for us. Really nice. It is not a fail. Good. IOTA. No, fail. IOTX, fail. All right, here's something. Finally, we got a capitulation up, pull back to these levels. Now we're getting something built up in key. So I'll mark it as a near fail still. Nothing, no action to take on it though. You could, but it doesn't match the system. This still should be now a near fail for KMD. Just because it came below those levels and it's here sitting back, not very good. KNC goes down to a fail. I didn't expect Kyber Network Token would fail. So those crossovers become more and more important over and over and over again. Those crossovers, and you can just wait for the crossovers and you're good and golden because you get in at the crossover here, you get out at the crossover there. So that's your trading zone. They're not trying for the tops, not trying for the bottoms, waiting for the crossover at the 1, 2, 3. Take a small position, you could add on to it, and then afterwards you're scaling out, and that's it. We're done. We're waiting for the next 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's going to be a little bit of time. Lend was a fail last time, and it's a fail this time. Link. Actually, yeah. Link. Okay, this one was an alert earlier because of this formation going on here at historically important support and resistance levels. Consolidated nicely, really took off, came back and retested it, and off it went again. So we have our two different entry levels right there where we could enter on the breakout, or we could wait for it to come back and retest and enter on strength from there. Anyway, now it's come back and retested these levels. Really great. I like this formation that it took to build up to this to go. So we had the break of the downtrend line, the formation, the exponential moving average crossover on the 12-hour even has just made it now. So on this pullback, that is an entry on the 12-hour. But on the 4-hour, we had a beautiful crossover here. Let me get this junk out of the way so you can see. Beautiful crossover on this 1, 2, 3. So that confirmed first. And then the breakout confirmed. Really nice. Just got to keep that stop loss just back far enough to give the room market to breathe. Let it breathe. The market gives it to you and takes it away. Gives it to you and takes it away. It always comes up in stages and steps like this. So expect it and give it room to. So Link is still marking as a pass. Good to see. I like this long uptrend here. Beautiful. Loom is a fail. LRC is a fail. change that in the spreadsheet. From a near fail to a fail. Lisk is still a fail. If I zoom in on the 3-day view of Lisk, I love this bottom formation. I love it. It's great. Not a time to take action, but love that it's building up like that and others are getting it prepared for us. How's that for thinking? Litecoin. So this did the bounce and is taking off, and it wasn't a trading signal that we can act on yet. Just too short of a time frame. Valid, but too short of a time frame for this trading method. So we'll sit back and watch it as well. Loon. Bump. And fail. And it was a near fail. Now it's a fail. Mana. Fail. And it's been a fail for a bit. Matic is brand new. Hey, that's not a fail. Now it's a near fail just because of this bounce, and I'm only measuring bullishness, bearishness, just to give us a general overview of where we are according to everything else. So this was a top formation pull back halfway, and this could be our trend continuation formation because it's giving us a 1, 2, potential number 3 on a break above these levels. It could be, especially since it's historical support and resistance and all that kind of stuff, but it's really got to wait for it to set up. Now, it's still a downward momentum according to these moving averages. So it could blast if Bitcoin is going to hesitate. So keep an eye on it, but it doesn't match up. Here's another one that's a near fail. MDA, still marked as a near fail. MFT is a near fail. And I like that it's consolidating this long all the way through these first 2-3 weeks here of the first 2 weeks of May. Zooming in, I like this pre-pump pattern going on and that it's consolidated back for us. So this is the kind of capitulation low and then gathering of energy, basically, I see it as the market is doing something like this. So MFT actually turns into an alert. Oh, and okay, 12 hour. It is so close to being an alert that we should be alerted about it. 1 year. Oh boy, that's a tough one. So I'm going to put it as a near fail still. What is it? MFT. And I'll put that link into our chat just because it's such a consolidation. And on the closer time frame, it's really, if you're babysitting it, it's okay. This is a fail. What is it? MITH. Yeah, still a fail from last time. MTH is the next one, and it is a fail. Well, yeah, it's marked as a near fail. I'll leave it there. MTL came down to fail levels, and it was a near fail. So our data is getting worse as we go. Nano was a pass, and now it's broken down to near fail. NAS, fail, and it was a near fail. So there's another one down to lower. NAV, we had as a fail earlier. It remains a fail. The next fews are fails. Ncash was a fail. Yes. This one, fail. Yes. Neo, fail, but we got a little bounce there. So coming up, but certainly nothing to trade. And this one, nothing. NPXS, which I think is something fishy with that. Nulls goes from a near fail to a fail. NXS, fail. OAX, wow, this was a pass, now it's a near fail. So we're just diving in, it's still going down. Bitcoin dominance maybe giving us a tick there, but there's nothing going on. This is still a fail. ONG, fail. ONT, wow, near fail. I love the bounce. Let's zoom in on it. There it is, double bottom, nice volume. Broke above it. 4 hour time frame. So there's nowhere near anything that we could be taking action on just because it could be this consolidation before continuing down. Bitcoin could be going way higher. We have not seen our Bitcoin volume come in yet at all. This is good, but nothing compared to what's come in the past. So this candle and the next couple candles could be astonishing as this volume comes in and the world just gets all FOMO'd about it and starts just pouring their money in. It could be astonishing, and that will bring them Bitcoin market cap, our dominance up, and it's fading right now. So this is important for us to monitor and check out for those Bitcoin top formations. And altcoin market cap is rising even as we're talking here. It's gaining. So all of these, if you're wanting to risk it, this is the time. It's giving us the indicator that even though it's not giving us our 1, 2, 3 bottom formations maturely enough yet, early people could be taking some action on these. So ONT is a near fail in our spreadsheet. We're at 95 out of 150. OST is also still a fail. I'm going to go to 1 year view so I can just more quickly see what it is compared to the past. PAX, I have no idea. PHX, it was a near fail. I'll leave it as a near fail. PIVX has been a fail for a while. There's something wrong with their privacy technology, and all of the clones of that are all going to be toast. POA, toast. The next one, POE, toast. Poly, toast. Power, toast. Like, there's just no trading signals here. And you know that every one of them, I go back to power and zoom in, and on our 3-day view, it could be the moment. We got lower lows here. It's not broken the downtrend line. It just doesn't fit the trading plan yet. So QKC, now this is a great consolidation. It's beautiful. It really could be the breakout from here on this volume and this consolidation. It is a fantastic setup if you're wanting to take those kind of early entries. But for the 12-hour time frame, there's like 2 months before or a month before this could possibly give us a turnaround and a crossover. So there's the difference between this plan and many others is the waiting for those turnarounds, which is a bitch because it only comes so infrequently. This isn't buy here, get out here, buy here, get out here, buy here, get out here. Oh my goodness. I want to have something that's working for me while I'm doing other things. I want to be earning more coins. I want to be doing something and putting it in here when it's appropriate. And I do a trading decision here, trading decision here. That's it. The rest of it I'm just monitoring and teaching. What are we looking at? QLC, QSP was a fail. Whoa, and I like the pump it's getting out of here, so it goes up to near fail. So many of these over the next couple days are going to be changing positions. That's nice volume. Zoom in more, zoom in more. Look at that. Just somebody's just like buying everything. The pullback is great. Double bottom, really strong volume, too short of a time frame. That's a messed up chart. Wouldn't it be nice? There. So right now you could market buy on it and then use rule number 1. All of these you could be doing that right now. However, in our trading plan, it's a near fail still. I love this mark of green here. Ooh. BTC. Quantum. Fail. Wow. Nasty fail. I really thought quantum was going to do different. Here's some volume that could be catching it going the other way, but it's still marked as a fail in our data. RCN was marked as a pass, and it's looking good with these pumps here. So, but it's pulled back. It's okay. I think it'll consolidate and show us some incredibly insane moves over the next 6 months. Really, with this kind of big candles of, that's a big volume. Somebody is taking a big step into this market, and really buying up everything above the market. So those are big pre-pump candles. This is going to do something more than it's been doing since August till now. Like a 5 times, a 10 times. Yeah. Yes. It'll go to 4,000 Satoshi from here. Crazy. But RCN right now, marked as a pass. RDN, this is marked as a fail. REN, marked as a fail. I'll leave it as a near fail. That goes to fail. REP, that was marked as a near fail. All right, so our exponential moving average is crossed over. 4-hour time frame, we were calling it and pointing that out as this crossed over here. And sure enough, It's one of those things that you think that I should be getting out, you do it, and then the market comes up and you FOMO back in, and then you're saying, shit, I should have just stayed out. So this one is another great example of the 4 hour. It's a little bit more tough to trade the 4 hour because you're in and out so much on this choppy markets. How was it for the 12 hour? There we go. Cleaned up all the chop, which is one of the reasons I use this. We've got in here on this crossover on the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, turned out profitable. Nothing to do all the way along here because you're waiting to see how correct we are. And then as this crosses over, get out. Which means that overall, in the long term, there's only 2 action points. Let's take the worst case scenario down to here, and from the worst case scenario here. That's all the profit that there is in this. And the magic of it is that you took 5 minutes to put it on here, 5 minutes to take it off there, and nothing else in between. That's the key of this trading system, is the patience and the lack of action. And then this is great return. You could have certainly taken off part of your profit on this. Absolutely. We employ the popcorn trading strategy for a reason, because they often take off and pull back. So when you get a crazy move that has gone up from 24 to 50, so it's doubled, and then you're starting to see the slow offs, and then you know it's time to take part of your profit. And then add that money back on when it consolidates and starts to show the trend is continuing. We'll talk more about that. So rep for now remains as a near fail because it's got so much room above these levels. It'll stay near fail. Rec fail as it is listed. The next 2 ones are marked as passes. So sure, this still remains as a pass. It's really pulled back against Bitcoin. RPX is not listed here. RVN is marked as a pass. Sure, it's still a pass. This is a difficult formation to trade for me. It didn't give me a turnaround that I could have traded. It gave a good top formation that I could get out of. Now we're watching to see if it's giving us a consolidation pattern here. We could trade, and sure, it's really setting up nice actually. So we have our beautiful trend line. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We're on the 1 hour time frame. The moving averages haven't crossed over. They will cross over first. And look, they haven't crossed over all the way along here. So when they cross, it'll be significant. And then we have the 4 hour time frame that after the 1 hours will cross and we see more development, then the 4 hours will cross. So it gives us some lead time to pay attention to this turnaround. So it remains still a pass. Now, the next 4 or 5 markets have been fails for a bit. This one's not listed. My mistake. Wish they would remove those so I don't have to click on them. Saya coin is still a fail, even though it's come back up a little bit here. It is so historical lows here that it stays a fail. Sky stays a fail. Singles stays a fail, though it's giving us more of a bounce there. Good to see. SNM I was more interested in earlier, but it is a fail still. SNT is still a fail. Steam is a fail as I expected. Now Steam, zoom into the 3-day, lower lows, starting to give us that downtrend break. So here's our number 1 point. 1, 2, 3. If it breaks above this, it actually could be a signal on this time frame on the 15-minute bars. On the 4 hour, you see it. There's number 1 point, and we don't even have number 2 point. So there's a lot of waiting to do on this. Storage, 1 year view. It's come down to historical lows. So swing traders might say, you know what, I'm just going to take a risk at this because it's at these super historical lows and it's making some sort of formation at all, but it doesn't match our plan right now. It really matched our plan earlier. We were watching it all the way through here. Sure enough, it got us a couple bumps. And then it crossed over, so there's not a lot of profit in this. After all that time of watching and waiting, now we have to watch and wait again on storage. So that one's a near fail. Let's go on to Storm. We're getting through it here. Fail. Strat. Fail. Syscoin. What is this? Okay. Syscoin. Fail. It cracked. Theta. Near fail still. Time New Bank. Fail. It may recover. Whoops. But not right now. Get that switch now. TNT. Near fail still. TRX I've got marked as a pass just because it hasn't broken down below these levels, but that's a terrible price chart. We're watching for something to come out of this. Really grateful for seeing this top formation and taking profits on that out of this breakout. That top formation was, while everything else was looking different, this was the first of the turnarounds to show that Bitcoin dominance was starting to crush it. That was February. Let's go back to February. Bitcoin dominance is dropping, so altcoins is getting even more valid. February, Bitcoin dominance was going down. All right. So Bitcoin price was going up, but the dominance was going down because alts were still going up until the beginning of April. That's when the alts took the dive. Now, TRX, I'm going to put it as a near fail. Even more bearish for this. Really. A few more left to go. VET. Fail. It was a near fail. Even worse. Viacoin. Okay, it stays as a pass, actually, because it's up above these levels and support has held it. It would turn into a buy above these levels now. That would actually mature into an alert soon. VIB is near fail. Yep. VIBE, also near fail. Wabi coin was a pass last time, and it stays a pass. It's not down near fail territory, but still not a buy, that's for sure. Top formation in this one we saw as well. Wabi. Wan coin is likely a fail, although this is apparently stupendous technology, and having a piece of it out of these bottom formations later will be really good, but it's still a fail. Waves, I'm saying near fail on this. It's got some good volume coming in at historical levels, but it's not turned around enough yet. So Waves remains as a near fail. WPR, fail. Remains as a fail. Walton coin, WTC, is down to near fail territory. Really dropped off hard once it broke this top formation. And this was a little bit late, so everything else was pulling back, and this gave a run up. So as it broke that top formation, it's pulled back pretty good. XEM is a fail. It's down to crazy historical lows. XLM is also a fail. I love to zoom into the 3-day view, but we got lower lows, consolidations. It is looking strong. If Bitcoin tops here, this will moon. And we know by watching the US dollar charts here, we can see that the US dollar value of these are growing up. So it's logical that eventually the Bitcoin value of it goes up as the Bitcoin dominance is slipping off right now. And we zoom into the 5-day view. So we're zooming right into the 15-minute bars, I think. 1 hour bars. 30-minute bars. 1, 2. So head and shoulders top formation here now. We've got the shoulder, consolidation, head, down, shoulder, and making a top. And it poked its way out of our uptrending parallel channel. So it's natural, kind of natural, for it to come back inside that channel, maybe. We'll see how this turns out. Really cool. The channel could act as support as this continues too. So XLM could be a trading signal, and yet on the longer time frame, still a fail. XMR also did a little bit of a bounce, but it's down in fail territory for sure. Zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, it's done a bit of a bounce and it's looking pretty strong actually out of this. I like this a lot actually. The megaphone getting louder and breaking higher. Phenomenal. Let's take a screenshot of that. You don't get many megaphones. But a break higher out of that is potential for sure. Potential also for some pretty crazy whipsaw in there. So where does that put it? XMR was a near fail. That was a fail before. Now I'm going to put it up right up to pass because it's not near fail now. No, I have to put it back to near fail because we're looking at for the longer term period, it is a fail. It has failed down below these levels. Ripple, fail. Look at this. It's going to go straight up again from like this. It feels to me like a bamboo shoot that's been pulled back and you're going to let it go. However, right now, it's a near fail because it hasn't broken down those levels according to that plan, so it still stays a near fail, but should be fail. 1 week view. The key is the US dollar view. This is pretty cool. Looks way better than the Bitcoin view. So that we want to continue to watch for. Nothing going on. XVG. Fail. XZC. Fail. Yo-yo. Fail. Z. Fail. Zen. Actually a trading formation. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breaking out higher. Actually a trading formation. And on the longer term view, you can see how this is really looking great. It could pull back and consolidate before breaking higher more. There's no way to know, but when it comes to this kind of uptrend and a great consolidation pattern, you could just go long at the market and then get out if it doesn't prove you correct, and only hold it if it proves you correct. But I like it because of this chart formation building up. So this one is actually an alert. One of, like, there's so few that actually turn into a trading alert. That's why I'm doing this video and just doing the manual scan right now. Fail. ZRX, fail. So we have, whoa, what's the date? May 11th. We have 1539.92. Copy, paste, values only. So we've gone from 57 down to 15 passing markets. We've gone from 34 fails to 92 fails. Crazy. Crazy how this pie chart has changed over time. Let me take a screenshot of this. Print screen. Save as. Fail chart. May 11th. Fail chart. Pie chart. And so we don't have a lot of trading signals. Tune in next time for the next run of this, where I'm certain we'll be finding more of our own mature trading signals. I hope this was a good training session as well as a market review. So as we're going through and talking through different strategies on many of these coins, I hope that they've given you some ideas. Zooming in right into the 5-minute bars now and taking a look at what's going on. Let's go take a look at the US dollar value of everything going up nicely, nicely, nicely. Bitcoin still look like it's going up stronger from here. Here's the Bitcoin value of everything, making the bottom formations and starting to show some great volume. So stellar is pretty attractive. Even though this is lower lows here, for me, it still qualifies as a variation of the 1, 2, 3 bottom. And because of the timing of everything else showing strength and the capitulation potential, Bitcoin's top potential, and on, this becomes a more valid signal, because I'm sort of, in my mind, I'm paying attention to the US dollar value of this getting higher lows, and then looking for that entry position in the Bitcoin versus Bitcoin chart. That's it. I will leave this for people to watch on the replay and wish you all the best in your crypto trading. We'll talk to you very soon. Cheers for now.